So I'm redoing my hair that I left in braids for a couple of days. And lately, I just feel like it's way too humid in the bathroom unless I keep the door open and try and get rid of some of the humidity. I was so exhausted the last few days because of a recurring situation, just like it has really nothing to do with me, but I'm at the point that I really, at this point in my life, I am not responsible for other people. So it seems like there might be some resolution for that. I do think there is going to be some resolution for this issue, but here's my thing. At the end of the day, this person needs to take ownership for their own life. And I don't care if you have, like, yes, I know people say, well, when you have a mental health issue, that makes it hard. But there's a lot of people with mental health issues that choose to make the best choices for their lives that are cognizant of what they're doing. And just the complete, like, I'm fine, I don't need any help, but I'm causing havoc thing is, I'm just done. I'm telling you, like, I'm not one of these people that would repair a wall that a person destroyed that had a mental health rage. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit around and repair a wall or like make a meal for them and be a perpetual caretaker because I feel like, okay, I couldn't believe when I read that there was yeah, there's actually people that do that. They will do everything it takes to try and help their loved one, but I'm not this person's parent. So at the end of the day, if you keep showing up here and I say you can't live here anymore, and you're just mad all the time, I don't care. Like, some other family members didn't like when I posted something about it on Facebook, so I just learned, okay, I will post that on Facebook, and I'm not going to talk about it too much here either. All I'm going to say is I'm not responsible for other people anymore. And not that I ever should have been, but for the longest time I always thought, well, I should try to be this good daughter who helps my family. But it was always at the sacrifice of me. And it's interesting too, like there would other, I don't think it was just that, but it would just be other like just silly situations, like just with people in general. Like I feel like I gave people too much leeway for too long of a time, and nobody would think about like what was fair or what was right for me, And I'm done with that. I'm done with people who have no respect for me. Like if you don't have respect for me and you don't treat me kindly, or if you're like a guy that doesn't want to make me a top priority, I'm like, I'm just done with people. Like whether you be a family member or just like if I date people, I don't want any of that silliness. So I'd rather have a quiet, peaceful life than be involved with people who, I don't know, just they're always thinking about themselves or just never making good choices. So I've decluttered a lot of that from my life. It's been kind of amazing, really. Like, and I've never really had like really bad situations or anything. It's just when the pandemic started, I had more issues with the family member who is having mental health issues. That's been the one thing. And the dating thing, I haven't been happy with people like that. I just haven't because a lot of them like are just they're so selfish. Like I'm tired of like selfish men. Even if you say nice things and you're usually like just your casual cucumber culture thing, I don't do it. So I'm not interested in. I don't date online. Like a lot of people think that women want to date men online. I don't date men who think I'm going to wear my hair down for their pleasure. Like I love having long hair and I wear it down, but I don't wear my hair down like pretty much like loose at all because I don't want tangles. So like a lot of guys did like message me online that thought I wanted to date. They thought that I would be someone who would be like their long hair person. No, I'm just not interested in any of that. So I've just taken a break and I've been like kind of an introvert. I need to work more on an art project. I started one, but then I started cleaning some stuff around the house and I just started doing some other things. So, yep. But I've been tired. I'm just like, but it's all good. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Being tired is not a problem. It's not bad or anything. Just, yeah, it's different, right? It's a little bit shorter. Yeah, I haven't done a live stream, I think, like where I did my hair since it looks a lot shorter actually when I braid it up like that. So I haven't brushed out my hair. Like I've left it in braid for a couple days and I'm just trying to get it smoothed out, but I'm finding it's not smoothing the way I wanted. Because it's been in a braid for so many days. Like look, like I said, I loved having really long hair, but I don't know, it just doesn't think it's as smooth as I want. Something's pulling back me, like in that section. Maybe it needs some water. Years ago, when my mom bought this braiding book, one of the suggestions that they used that has just always worked for me and that I've just always loved was that you wet down your hair when you braid it. And we've just always done that. And I've done that for like all my life. Like, I don't know. We've just done that for years and years, a couple decades since I bought that book. Well, my mom bought it, but it was a book I had when I was a kid. It just gave the tip that if you dampen your hair when you braid it, it just makes it easier to braid. And I totally like this advice. And back in the day, well, I haven't started doing this again because I'm not going to be washing my hair like I did years ago. But years ago, I used to wash my hair. I had started washing my hair a lot more than when I was a kid. I washed my hair once a week, okay? But then in my early 20s, I had experimented with shorter hairstyles. So maybe I was washing it every other day. But I just began to realize that's so excessive. And then one day this lady told me, but you have really thick hair and it's long, which it was a little bit shorter than it is now. At that time, she goes, why? I don't know. She was just asking me like how often I wash it. And I said, well, I started washing it every day. She goes, that's too much. She goes, you should like wash your hair once a week. So I went back to that. And as my hair got longer, like I was washing it maybe once a week 4 years ago. And then I had become progressively longer and like and extending out my hair washing. And I had gotten up recently to like once a month, but I was always rinsing my hair. But I kind of have this theory like if your hair's a little bit shorter, you probably might have to wash it more often. but I still don't want to wash it like every week. Like to me, that's just a little bit too much with my hair type because I wet my hair in the shower. Like some people, I guess they wear a shower cap so their hair doesn't get wet in the shower. But even if you have curly hair, I think it's okay for it to get wet in the shower, and this is my theory. Because if your hair gets a little wet in the shower, it's just kind of like rinsing out parts of your hair and your roots, and then you can comb it out. And I just really like that idea, and it kind of gives you something to smooth your hair down. Now, people with straight hair, my advice is probably not going to work for you. If you have pin straight hair, you're not going to want to be putting water, and you're not going to want to be putting leave-in conditioner in your hair. But I have done that for years. Okay, I've put water and leave-in conditioner in my hair since I started growing my hair longer again. And even when I was younger, I used to use detangler, which is a leave-in conditioner. All my life, I've done leave-ins. I've done Yves Rocher oil, like where all the time I was putting oil in my hair. So I'm always like putting stuff into my hair to kind of. But I'll tell you, after a week, since it's been like 1 week since I washed my hair, I don't have to put as much leave-in conditioner in. After a while, my natural oils, because I've been washing my hair less, kind of are overcompensating. So I just used a little bit of the leave-in conditioner to smooth out the top. So yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this extending out the wash thing. Again, I just don't know if I will go a month with my hair being a little bit shorter now. It is weird though, like, okay, with my hair being shorter, one thing that's so weird is like how far the braid doesn't go down. Like, I'm still not quite used to it. And I have to tell you this, like, one thing that I actually thought was not, that they always said wasn't true, but I kind of think it's true, is like when your hair gets longer, in a way, it takes longer to comb it. But I almost feel like in a way, it kind of makes it easier to braid it because you can kind of hold it. And I don't know, like it just like in a way it kind of does. Like that sounds funny to people who have who think like I don't know. It's like even when my hair is braided, it's here. It's here. The only thing is the way with I trim my hair too. I don't really want to do a trim again soon, but here's the thing. I like that trim because it's really easy to trim yourself at home. But I think I should have rewatched some of the hair trimming tutorials because one thing I liked as my hair was getting longer, it was really easy. Even though yes, like you get your tapered ends, so, but it was getting easier for the hair that was like the longest to be more one length because you could hold it like around you. The length kind of helped in some ways. Now, it's almost like when your hair is a little bit shorter, like not that this is short, but just shorter, it's harder to trim sometimes. thought about social media. Okay, some people say that their social media names all have to match, that their YouTube channel name, their Instagram name, that it all has to match. But you know what? Okay, I still like Instagram and I still like YouTube. But I want to tell you, I mean, I like YouTube the most out of all of them. I still like social media, but I think one thing, I just never posted on it all the time. And honestly, I was always upfront, like from the very beginning, when people would be like, "Well, aren't you on Instagram so I can message you?" But the thing is, I message a couple of people on Instagram, but after that, I just like I'm not gonna like keep messaging new and new people because, like, I feel like okay, I do my YouTube. That's my creativity platform. I don't really feel like I just need to message a lot of people on Instagram. So I never really understood the point of like the messaging feature on Instagram. Like to me, like I don't mind talking to a couple of the people I've known for a while, but like just I'm not like the biggest on just always messaging new and new people. And some people would be like, "Oh, can you message me?" And it's not that you don't want to talk to somebody. I just always thought if you had something to say, like you could say it in the comments too on a YouTube video. Because it harkens back to that thing that, I just kind of think like, and a lot of the people that didn't want to use social media as much, like they're actually in relationships. So of course they don't want to message guys on Instagram. Pretty common sense, right? But also too, it's just because it gets overwhelming and like people don't want to post there all the time and it's fun. But I like it to be creative. I don't want to just always be posting there. Like some people say it's easier. See, that's the thing I never understood. Some people say it's easier to post to Instagram than YouTube, but I kind of disagree. But I think they also have a different take on their YouTube channel. Some people want a highly, highly curated YouTube channel. It has to look like aesthetically beautiful in all senses. I'm gonna kind of do some major pushback on people who think like highly edited OBS or YouTube and streaming and whatnot is the best. This is gonna be my major pushback and thought on it. I want you to think about it for a second. People have been saying in general that all the social platforms are having a decline in traffic. So why do you want to waste your time always making highly curated videos for like YouTube, but then acting like Instagram can be the easier one? To me, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not gonna push myself to bring some back, like to make that. Like, I feel like I do post a lot of content, but I'm not gonna push myself to make this highly edited video. And I just feel like maybe I want to push back on all this OBS stuff. I don't even think OBS is all that in a bag of chips. I really don't. Because look, I looked at OBS just for other things, other types of live streaming on my other channel, and it's just super clunky. It might be open source, and yeah, you can do a window and all this, but the thing is a clunk, okay? It made my other computer crash the other day. I want to keep working on it, but I'm just like, yeah, I get it. People are like, oh, wow, because it shows a window and you have yourself in a little window. But you have to have a lot of high-end computer equipment. And I just feel like, I kind of just want, like, content that's fun and engaging and entertaining and educational in a more of a simplistic kind of way. And I'm just doing kind of an OBS pushback because I get it if you're some sort of a Twitch gamer streamer, you probably need this OBS thing to look real fancy, but I feel like it's kind of distracting actually. I don't like too many things on a screen. I like just watching simpler videos and I'm not a gamer. Like I've never had 100% iota interest in video games, so yeah, I don't partake in it, I guess, is what I'm trying to convey. Oh, Braiding rooms. So now I need to kind of water down this side. So this is what I do. Like, I got some, I took a shower at night last night. I'm so proud of me. I'm kind of ahead of the game on that. And then I need to kind of wet down my scalp, my hair wet. Like I said, if you have wavy to curly hair, like I just find moisture really helps your hair a lot. It helps you like kind of smooth things down so you can braid it and stuff. And that braiding book years ago, it gave me that tip. I'm like, this is a really good tip, and I've used that ever since. So that used to be one of the reasons that when I would wash my hair every other day for a few years, when I first started growing my hair out, before I finally went back to once a week, I was just so in love with that because I would wash my hair. It would be wet out of the shower, like an hour out of the shower wet, up in a braid, and my hair would be wet. Sometimes into the evenings it was thick, and people would be like, your hair's still wet. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't bother me, but yeah, but you know, it helped to keep I just loved it because I would let my hair dry wet, and then the next day, once it was dry, it would be so wavy. But I don't want to wear my hair loose anymore. Like, that's another thing. Sometimes I would wear my hair loose, but this time around, I'm not going to do it. Does that mean some of the videos that people wanted probably won't be posting? Probably. I don't know. Like, does it matter? Like I said, this time around, it's my hair journey. I did a lot of videos, experimental videos that people asked for. There would just be so many things. Like, I just wanted to be happy, scrappy me. Like, when I did hair do's, I didn't want to be what everybody else wanted all the time, okay? So, like, some people wanted me to do hair flips or bun drops. And I'm not saying I'll never do a bun drop again. I actually got some hair sticks and thought about it. But it's just like, yowzers. It's just like all these different types of hair videos that really were not me. And I really just wanted to be me. Okay, so this is the thing I don't like. I like how this. Why I'm not going to take my other side down to show you. Other people would always be like, take your hair down, do this and that. But do you see how this time around it's going to just be me and what I want? Like, it's always been that way anyway. But I would make some content because I thought, oh, people might like that. But I just was getting so, like, even as I grew my hair longer, as you notice, I didn't do a lot of loose hair videos because even if that's popular, I want to go against the grain of what's popular and do what I love. That's how you keep, I think, making videos fun. But people will be like, but it's not what you want. But there are people who want what I do, see? So if I do what I want, I find the audience who enjoys it. That's my take on it. So anyway, when you put your hair in the 2 or 3, like 1 or 2 for little ponytails to trim, and you pull it forward, I think sometimes it's better to just put it in the 1 ponytail to trim, because when you do 2, well, it still happens with 1 a little bit. It kind of gives you that, well, if you look here, let me show you. It's harder to see because it's a dark shirt. And that's another thing, too. I'm not worried about wearing light shirts to show off my hair anymore. I wear what I want now. Boom, boom, boom. Like, you see, going against the grain on all that. Like, for the longest time, because I thought, like, I just want to share and have fun on my channel. And now, well, I always did. I had been for a long time. But I think that was one of the things that just was always kind of annoying, was that here I am, you see what I'm doing on my channel, and people would be like, why aren't you doing it that way? And I'm like, but I just told you, I want to do it this way. Like, I don't know. It just silly stuff like that. So this section, I had done a lot of coconut oil on the day after I washed it. So the tangle, to try and get that tangle out. So it's still kind of supple. It's still kind of moisturized here at the bottom. And then I'm just going to use water to continue combing out day by day. Like, just getting water in my roots, water in my scalp, and then, like, you get water in the shower, and it just kind of works itself out, but then you can re-moisturize. I don't know. I just find that's what's working for me. But I don't know about henna, okay? Like, okay, I got some comment on my video from this woman saying, But I don't know, is it a woman? It could be a woman, but they never show their picture, just telling me they never had a problem with henna. But here's the thing. They didn't even listen to my video. I didn't say henna was bad. If you want to keep doing henna, please do. I don't think henna is bad if you mix it with like coconut oil, or I would not put vinegar in it. I would not put like lemon in it. That's going to make it drying. But yeah, I don't think it's bad. It's just if you mix it with conditioner and other things, I think it can be a problem. Another thing about henna is if you're going to do it, like my one friend, she says she does it twice a year. You probably only want to do it a couple times a year, or maybe like every 4 months. I used to do it like every 4 or 5 months, but then I don't know during the pandemic, I don't think I really did henna at all. I just wasn't doing it. And then when we started opening up again, like I thought, oh, this might be something fun to make my hair look more like, I don't know, stylish in the sunlight, because it gives it red highlights, and I feel like it just gives it some definition, like variation in color. Like I love my dark hair, but the henna would just kind of bring out some of the red highlights. That's what I loved, and I felt like it was strengthening my hair. But looking back, I don't know, my mom was like, do you think you're doing henna too much? She kept saying, I think you do henna too much, or maybe you should stop doing henna. And I don't want to tell people that they should never do henna, because I feel like, okay, I did henna for 6 years and I never had a problem, right? But there were a couple things I did that night. First off, I shouldn't wash my hair so late in the day. And then I got tired and I thought, well, I could just put my hair in a towel and sleep with it like that. And that was really a no-no, okay? Like, I was really tired that night and I did henna too late and mixing it with the conditioner. So there was just a bad combination of things that happened, and I couldn't get that tangle out. But I thought, well, I can't go back in time now, but if I could do it again, I don't think I would have done that henna application, because I had already done henna in late July, and I don't know why I was doing it so much. Like, it didn't need to be a once a month thing, but it was just like becoming more and more and more. Like, I did it in May, I did it in July, I'd done it in January, but it was just like I was progressively doing henna too often. That's my thing. I don't think you should do it that much. And I know like some people like are like every 6 weeks, but maybe if you do it on your roots or something, if you want to like keep your hair consistent. But I don't think an overall henna mask every month is a good idea. However you're mixing it. That's just my take on it. But you know, if it's really still working for you and you've never had a problem, and I never had a problem, but you know, I am skeptical now, like after that incident, it doesn't make me feel like, oh wow, I want to go back and do henna again, because I kind of don't. So I'm not saying I'll never do it again, but I'm very mixed feeling about it. Like, it was good while it lasted, but sometimes just that one bad experience kind of turns you off of it. So I don't think henna's bad. I am going to tell you this though, if you're going to dye your hair, you should use henna instead of hair dye, because I don't agree with hair dye, because I think that's worse for your hair than henna. Like, if you absolutely must dye your hair, I would say henna over hair dye 100%, 120%. Like, I just would personally, because I know people try to say, well, there's like healthy hair dyes, like this Herbiton thing, but it's really not healthy. Because if you look at the ingredients in it, it has okay. If you look at the ingredients, it has like some things in there that just are not super healthy for your hair, and it penetrates your hair like shaft, and it does damage your hair to some degree. Whereas henna just coats your hair. And the thing about henna, it doesn't mean that your hair can never be penetrated by moisture or oil. I think it just, if you do henna more often, it builds a barrier to where it's more difficult. Because, yeah, your hair can still build up oil, believe me. But I will tell you this, I think the more you do henna, I think it does help in prolonging hair washing, because, yeah, like you do get this protective layer on your hair. So it's interesting. I'm not a hair scientist, but it's just some of my observations from henna. I don't think washing your hair every day is good or every other day. I think that's excessive. Like, too much washing. Like, I think people are over washing their hair. And I mean, I don't understand why. Like, and when I stopped doing that, when I got out of that cycle, I was really happy actually. And I feel like if you comb your hair just slowly, that kind of helps. And you don't have to overwash your hair. Some things about wavy hair too, like hair likes to curl up into itself. And when your hair is wavy, like mine, I'm just finding that I'm getting used to again to my hair curling up into itself a little bit more. Because the longer it got, it still was kind of doing that on the ends, but it has the propensity to want to curl up more at a shorter length. So like it's never gonna be the same. Like wavy hair is just not the same as straight hair. It's a different. It's not curly, but it has certain tendencies that are more like curly hair in a way because it wants to like clump together sometimes or curl up. But I'm not doing like those things where I wear my hair loose and I'm promoting like curls and things. Like some people do that. I'm not wearing my hair like that. So yeah, I highly recommend wearing your hair in braids. Look, because this is a short amount of time for me, and I'm kind of chatty Cathy of combing. Like it's just amazing. Like who wants to be detangling their hair constantly? Not me. Like I want to mitigate that. Thank you. And that's why a lot of women with really long hair wear it in buns. Surprisingly, like to people, like, yeah, that's why they don't like have to constantly be taking their hair down with a hairbrush and brushing it out. Which I don't want to do that in public. It just annoying. I would be so annoyed if I had like. In fact, even when I used to redo my hair, sometimes I'd have to go to the park. I'd have to find a secluded spot. It would take me time. Like if I felt like I hadn't done my hair perfectly that morning, I wouldn't be able to just do it in 5 minutes. Like, but some people just they carry a hairbrush with them and they rip a brush through their hair. And oh, it makes me feel so cringy. I don't think you should do that, no matter your length. Or they just change up their hairstyle a lot throughout the day. I'm like, one hairstyle and stick to it, please. Like, you have to stick to your hairstyle. You can't keep changing. Unless you had the bad look where, oh gosh. This is another reason I don't do updos as much as some people do. Some people, like, they do updos and they're like, I can use, like, this 1U pin or 2 like clips and it stays, and they're so good at it. But for me, like if I do that, it's gonna slippy whippy. And I tried recently to do a hairdo with just hair sticks, and I wouldn't feel confident leaving the house with it because it would be slipping and sliding. The only benefit, like I do miss having super long hair, but I have to say the only benefit to this is my hair is still long, but it's short enough that I don't have to wear it up as much, and I haven't had a migraine headache. Like my migraine headaches have disappeared, and I attribute that all my migraine headaches. I knew what they were from. It's just like because I don't. With me, I already had issues with wearing my hair up because I wear a pair of glasses that dig into the back of my head. But then when we started to have to wear a mask, there were all these different things, like all this different, and I still have like a couple different things. Like, honestly, some people want to socialize and they don't care about wearing a mask, or they wear a mask outside. And I'm not going to wear a mask outside walking. I don't care. We're outside. It's ventilated. I'm not going to torture myself in 100-degree weather to wear a mask. And I have been COVID free. I haven't gotten COVID. And there's people that are wearing masks outside that got COVID, okay? But I think this is the difference. I don't go to social events. And I don't want to risk getting COVID. And I know some people are like, well, young people can get it and you'll be okay. Wrong, because some young people get it and they die or they have long-term issues. So yeah, I'm not going to risk it. I don't go, like, even if you have to work outside the house, like, I think after work you need to become kind of like a hermit or something, or have a very small group of people that you interact with. Like, I don't need social life. Like, I'm not going to go socialize with anybody. Like, just the fact that some people think, oh, they can go socialize as long as they're wearing a mask. But I don't think that's going to make you necessarily safe. And I want to feel safe because, yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm just not going to risk my health to socialize. And I never was a big social creature anyway. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going into any large venues anytime soon. And I don't miss it. I kind of just like the quieter life, like the more peaceful life. Oh, after I fix the problem with the family member who, like, needs to work on themselves, I had the quietest last 2 days doing absolutely whatever I wanted. And it was so quiet and it was so peaceful. And what did I hear? I heard silence. I loved it. And I'm not antisocial. I know one guy accused me once of being antisocial. It's just not that. I'm not a big social butterfly. Like, I like being nice to people, but I don't feel a need to constantly hang out with people or be in a big crowd or, yeah, no. I feel like that here's only active, so I'm probably do that part for you. I have to reset my iPhone because this is the fun thing about the iPhone. I was using it to make YouTube videos, and all of a sudden my iPhone freaked out. It said memory has been used up because I wasn't using my regular camera as much because I discovered recently when I got the iPhone 11 that I really like the camera on it. But that's been a problem because now the memory is clogged and I didn't set it up to, like, I actually have to buy an iCloud plan, like a high one, just so I can, because I don't want to delete my pictures. And I've tried to transfer it from a cord to my laptop, but I just decided I kind of want it in the cloud because I always have access to it. So I tried to try and have it migrate to the AT&T one, but my iPhone was just acting up. It's like, no, memory used up. So I'm finally resetting it to the cloud, and I bought the more expensive iPhone backup plan. I might downgrade it after I get it, all those pictures, and just keep it to a little bit lower one. But I need to have something where I can, I need a place where I can store my pictures. And I don't want to constantly go from one device to another device. And I know some people are doing that, but I don't mind having pictures on the iCloud because I just know they're there, okay? Let's say I lose my device or the device crashes. I don't have to worry about it later. The pictures are just always in the iCloud, and to me, it's peace of mind. I like actually having the iCloud. I've been a happy camper with it. I just needed to update my iCloud payment because back when I had my first iPhone, I'm just being chatty Cathy today, but here's my braids. Back when I had my first iPhone, it was a prepaid one through Walmart Family Mobile, which for the longest time, if you need to save money, Walmart Family Mobile has a lot of really cheap plans. You can, like, for $26 a month, you can have an unlimited. It doesn't have good data. I used to just go off Wi-Fi back then, and that became a problem. So, yeah, I ended up upgraded to an AT&T business plan because I do blogging and YouTube, and it's got a lot of memory for, like, if I ever want to do like live streams anywhere. And now that I have that plan, I really don't want to get rid of it because, like, let's say I move or something and I don't have internet right away, I can use my phone as a hotspot. Like, it has a lot of good features, so I want to keep that for a while. And I've just been happy with the iPhone, but now that I have an iPhone again, like, I need to re-up my iPhone because I did have the iPhone backup plan. One of my sisters had an iPhone, and she goes, "Well, my phone has like 64 gigabytes, and it saves all my pictures, and I don't need the iCloud." But I apparently need the iCloud because I take a lot of pictures and I upload a lot of things, and I want to save a lot of things that I don't necessarily delete. I don't necessarily want to delete everything after I use it. So yeah, I need that iCloud backup plan. So my phone's sitting in there backing up to the iCloud. And I think I fixed the issue with it. That's what I think. For Shirley's. Let's see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.